Sagittarius. Hello, welcome to your reading. Oddly enough, I think this is the first time I've ever read for you in your own individual video outside of collective readings. So it's not much of a surprise to me that when I tuned into your energy, it was a little bit overwhelming, a little bit flooding. And before I get into that part, I just want to start by saying it was also potentially crisscrossed. I don't know why I'm using that word, but crisscrossed with Aries energy, because as I was coming out of the Aries reading, I had just recorded it and published it. And so I started, to switch gears to Sagittarius. And a song came up immediately as soon as I, went into meditation to begin trying to get messages. I usually do that multiple times before I sit down to record, unless I just feel like I have what I need. So as soon as I asked for Sagittarius, I got a song that came up to me in the Aries meditation before their reading. And what's interesting to me is I forgot to tell them all about all the songs I got for them. So I'm going to mention it to you now, and I'm going to double back and do a separate message for them. This might get long, so I might do a two-part. I'll join it together, but I might end up doing your cards after I get all of these messages out, because like I said, it was a little bit of a flood. So immediately the very first thing I got was a crossover from the Aries reading, a song called, I think it's called Breakable, and for the life of me I cannot remember who the artist is now. Oh my gosh, I really should write things down, and I never do, and I always say I'm going to and I don't. But anyway, it's on the soundtrack for a movie called Great Expectations. I think that's from the 1990s. So if you just Google Breakable Great Expectations soundtrack, the song will come up. Okay, and what I find interesting about this whole thing is that when I originally heard the song for Aries, I was hearing She's Breakable, and I thought that's how the song went, because I'm not super familiar with this song, right? But I have heard it before. So I thought it was saying she's breakable, but it's actually he's breakable. And the other song I got for Aries, which may or may not be related to you at all, was Breaking the Girl. And that's the song that came in first. So I might have been biased in thinking that the song was She's Breakable. So anyway, the song just came flooding back into my mind, and I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm supposed to double back and do another Aries video to tell them about those messages, because I completely skipped it. Because, their energy was a little deep, a little dark. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm talking, but you might be connected to an Aries. I don't know. So take that or leave it. What's interesting though with the she's breakable, he's breakable, breaking the girl, like the gender swapping, is that the other song I got for you. So I did a take two, right? Okay, so that might be residual Aries. I don't know. So I did a take two, and the song that I got then was Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy. And at first I was super excited, like, oh boy, I get to do a good reading, right? Because Dance Dance is a fun song, and I literally want to dance when I hear it. But then I, paid attention to the lyrics, which I don't know all of them. I looked them up later. And I was like, wait, we're falling apart to halftime. That doesn't sound super positive. So I Googled, what is the song about, right? And I guess there's a lot of back and forth on what the song's about. So I didn't really, I took all of that with a grain of salt, and I looked up the lyrics. So Okay, your video totally just stopped recording, but I just went back to see. We're in Mercury retrograde. What can I say? I did not expect anything. I was so meticulous in setting this up. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. This is a temporary setup, by the way. This is not my permanent. Once again, another temporary setup. And I already hate it, but we're rolling with it today. So I looked up the lyrics to that song. And just to summarize, I'm not going to read them to you because I don't have them. Well, I probably do on my other phone that I have right here. But I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to tell you the highlights. So he does say that we're falling apart to halftime. And then there's another line in there that says, I'm 2/4 and a heart down. So right away, I'm thinking, okay, sports connection perhaps. I don't know much about sports. But I know that there are quarters. And if there's quarters, then there would be 2/4, 3, 4 quarters, right? And 2/4 would be halftime because that would be half of the game. I don't know if, I think football deals with quarters and halftime, but I don't know if any other sports do. So I couldn't help but notice that. My dad was a huge football person, huge sports person, period. So I do know a little bit there. So it could have something to do with sports. I mean, for some of you, this could be simply something about an actual, competition that maybe you need to know about. I don't know, but it we're falling apart to halftime sounds like maybe, something might go wrong right before halftime. I don't know. I'm just, like I said, it's just everything was just like flooding in of all these different like ideas and possibilities. The other thing in that song that I can't overlook is the just blatantly obvious accusation of cheating. And if you're not familiar with Fall Out Boy, it's a male singing, and he's talking about a woman and accusing her of cheating. I don't know if that matters or not. Because when I was opening my phone to Google the lyrics to that song, I heard he said, she said. And this is making me think that maybe there's some accusation, finger pointing going back and forth, etc., etc. And I guess specifically the scenario I'm kind of sensing from that is like, where I don't know if I've specifically been there before, but where you feel like you intuitively feel, right, that your partner is cheating, and you maybe bring it up, maybe you don't. And either way, like maybe they accuse you of cheating, or they suspect you, like they tell you that they suspect you of cheating, and then you're like, well, I think you're cheating. Okay, well, at the end of the day, whether or not you're cheating. So if you're not, and then there's a suspicion there, first of all, I would never listen to anybody telling you you're crazy or that you're making things up or that you're insecure. However, it is a point of reflection to consider, right? But I feel always trust your intuition. And if somebody is accusing you of cheating and you're not, maybe they are. Maybe it's a projection. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. Don't ever underestimate your intuition, because chances are maybe you're not right. That's the other thing I wanted to say, because I've rarely had any suspicions of a partner cheating unless there was something going on. Okay, and by something I mean it can just be the same energy. Like the energy of cheating can feel like cheating and be something else. Okay, and the example, I'll give you a specific example from my life. This was years ago now. I was, briefly as possible, I was seeing somebody, we'll say, I don't know how to categorize it, but I was talking to someone, and the only reason I met him was because I dated his friend. Okay? But I mean, me and the friend were like donezo, like no question, at least on my end. But he was super concerned, I guess, with his friend finding out. So, long story short, you know, he ended up basically treating me like a mistress, right? Like a secret. And that feels the same. It feels the same as cheating, because it's dishonest and it's disrespectful. And cheating is exactly that, right? Does that make sense? Okay, I'm trying to speed run through all of this stuff because it's really just little like details. Okay, so where were we? Anything else with the dance? I mean, maybe for some of you, it's totally just face value, right? Maybe you are literally in the energy of like dance, like how that song initially like would make me feel like just dancing and just being happy and celebrating. I don't know. Take it or leave it. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Regardless, I don't know. But, oh yeah. So, going back to the song. So what I feel like, cheating or not, or like, I don't care if that's related. It could just be completely part of the song. But the general energy, and I saw this when I was shuffling your cards, because I pre-shuffled all of your cards and your oracles. And of course, naturally, cards pop out. And they kind of confirmed, and we'll see if it comes up. This could just be something I need to tell you now. I don't know. So, what was I saying? So there's this energy of dancing around a topic, right? Not wanting to talk about something, not wanting to be direct. And I was experiencing that, getting ready to do your reading. And even right before, I mean, and then the video cuts off. Like, I mean, this is all the same thing that I've been kind of experiencing, like this, like, procrastination. And that's the best way I can put it. I feel like there's sort of an elephant in the room, and you and someone else. It doesn't even have to be a romantic partner. I don't know, right? Like, either this is about you and somebody you know and you're going to know intuitively, or it's just not relevant, right? So, I'm slouching. So anyway, that's it. Like, it's just like this energy of like distractions and things interrupting. Like right before I started to record the initial video, my daughter came down, and I couldn't see her, but I could hear her, right? So it's all these little like delays and distractions, dancing around, kind of avoiding an issue. And I feel like it's a serious issue just because of, like, I have to go back to this song, which is that's kind of what he's talking about, I think, is like, you know, dance, like, sort of distract yourself, dance around the topic, try to hide it, but it's like, you know, it's there. I'm speaking vaguely because I think that it could be applicable to a bunch of different things, right? I mean, this could be like, back to the sports thing, this could be like an injury, right? Like, which is funny because I'm a Pisces, and I have a 9th house, which is Sagittarius. I have a 9th house sun and a 9th house Mercury. My Mercury is in Aries. So anyway, but they're both in the 9th house of Sagittarius. So, I mean, this could even be applicable to me. Like, I have an injury in my left arm, which I keep saying, you know, it's getting better, and it is. It is, okay? I tore my bicep tendon, which I guess is a big deal. It takes a long time to heal. And true to form, it has taken over 6 months now or something. I don't know. I'm not really counting, but yeah, April would be 6 months, right? Yes. So we're in the 6th month, which is when it's supposed to be healing, and I think it is healing. But it's still not like 100%. And I never, I didn't do any physical therapy. I'm just like not that type of person. Like, I broke my foot once, and I went to the gym that night. Like, I just tied my shoe tighter, and I went to the gym. And by the time I got out of the gym, I could barely walk to my car. So it really was broken. But that's kind of an example of what I'm trying to say. Like, it could be, if this is about sports or something like that, it could be as simple as that you are ignoring something serious. And I did get a lot of pentacles when I was shuffling your cards. Queen of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. I don't know what else, but definitely those cards came out. So, I mean, it could be something like in your material reality that needs to be addressed, that you're just kind of, sweeping under the rug, so to speak. I think I'm going to dive into your reading. I think that's all. If I think of something else, at least I got your songs and the general important messages. So first I'm going to pull from the Urban Crow Oracle, and excuse me while I lean back to shuffle because I test ran this whole thing. And it's very loud if I shuffle on the table. We'll come back to that in a minute. It's too many for Sagittarius, please. And I got one a few minutes ago, so if it's the same one, that'll be interesting. For Sagittarius, please. Overall energy for Sagittarius. This deck didn't really want to talk to you last time either. I just got one card and that was it. Nothing else wanted to come out. But that one seemed like it was wanting to talk. Alright. We got survival and battle. Okay. Before, I got the card of distance, which was making me think that maybe one of you, all of you, some of you, are potentially in a long-distance relationship, which would make sense with the insecurities and the accusations, things like that. Yeah, I mean, survival and battle is pretty self-explanatory, but I definitely feel like maybe there is something. I mean, maybe it's not that deep. Number 47 and 5. But you might have to go through some sort of battle for something to survive. So 47 says, the crow is trapped in a bush as the hungry fox patiently waits for his meal. When we're in survival mode, we are restricted. We, like the crow, cannot fly. This card calls your attention to how you are feeling about a situation. Are you hunkered down waiting for the threat to be over? Or are you moving, doing your best to find a path out? Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about. When we're in survival mode, our possibilities are limited by a creative mind solely focused on getting through a difficult situation. It is in this space that we are not thinking about future opportunities, as the decisions we make are done so to simply release any immediate pain. Because of this, we risk accepting a quick fix that limits our growth. Very similar to what I was picking up there from that song. Okay, battle. Crows are incredibly territorial and will fight intruders to maintain order within their space. You may find that defensive feelings are brewing, whether from within or from an external source. If you have perhaps stepped on some toes, or entered into someone's territory uninvited, be prepared to deal with the consequences. This card may also indicate that you will need to defend yourself against someone attempting to infiltrate your space. Take notice of the crows sitting on the wires. Oh, at the top. I didn't even notice them. See? They are not involved, but they are watching on to see which bird is the victor. This may indicate that when it comes to your situation in the battle that is brewing, there may not be much in the way of outside support for either side. This could be an advantage or disadvantage depending on your position. It's once again making me feel like some sort of competition or some sort of like, you know, some kind of sport. Like with the spectators and the two different, I mean, isn't that weird? I don't know. Once again, I'm not like a sports person, guys, so if that's you, please translate it. Survival, maybe this is like a tournament. Mischief on the bottom. I don't know, maybe somebody's like cheating, like cheating to win. Sorry, I just got so excited. I like tied the two together. Okay, if this thing stops, I'm like watching this clock and the record button like a hawk because I'm afraid it's gonna end. All right, I'm using the B Tarot. It's my brand new deck. It just came out and I pre-ordered it. Isn't it beautiful? This giant box. It's like as big as my head. My head's really not that big. It's actually very small. It just looks huge on camera. The High Priestess wanting to show her face. It's actually called the Melissa. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Melissi. That's what it is. Okay. So we're going to pull a few cards here and see if we can get more information. And I might close it out with the Oracle Visions. I have some other decks here for clarification. King of Wands. Okay, that could be your energy. Should we take you? Ace of Swords. Don't fall on the floor. Prince of Wands, that could also be your energy. All right, let's look more into this. One more. Oh, we got two coming out together. The Five of Swords and the Six of Swords. And I shuffled this deck very good. I always do that. So those should not have been together. We have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Four of Jars and the Moon and the Nine of Swords. And the Three of Pentacles. I mean, I definitely think this could have something to do with, you know, a relationship, a family, you know, something hidden, a third party, Three of Pentacles. I mean, Two of Wands, another card of, but I want to look at this Four of Cups for some reason. See them? I'm getting like a checked out energy from him. Like someone who's just, I mean, you see how he's pouring the honey into the jar or whatever he's pouring, and it's just like overflowing and going all over the table. It's like he's not even paying attention to what's going on. And I don't know what this is. There's like a jar in the, there's a jar of honey in the sky, and I don't know if he's like thinking about that jar of honey. Like, is that supposed to be a thought bubble? Or is it like another jar coming toward him? I don't know. But I definitely get like a daydreaming, like checked out sort of vibe here. And maybe that's you. Maybe that's your energy, right? Like, because there has to be a reason that this is coming up in your reading, right? The idea that, you know, something's being avoided, something's not being talked about. You are Sagittarius, and well, I know Sagittariuses who are not very direct, and they're very, you know, kind of passive aggressive and things like this, but like in general, Sagittarius is not thought of as a passive sign. But you know, we come in all different shapes and sizes, right? So it's not like a set in stone mandatory thing that you can't be more passive. But I think the message is asking you to not be that way, right? Survival, battle, like fight for whatever it is that is slipping away. Anyway, back to the reading. King of Wands, yes. Ace of Swords. I think my daughter's using the bathroom. That scared me. It's so quiet in here. I don't know if it's echoing, but it's very quiet for me. Except for that train that went by. So King of Wands, Ace of Swords, Page of Wands. So Five of Swords, Six of Swords. This feels like it's telling me, okay, King of Wands. I'm taking this as your energy. It's a fire sign card, and it's a king, which, you know, is the highest card here. The King of Wands is not passive aggressive. The King of Wands is assertive, and he will speak his mind. Ace of Swords, that's what's being encouraged here, I think, of you, is to, you know, get into your highest energy and speak up about something. Okay? I think Page of Wands is telling us that it'll be a refreshing change. It'll be received well. It'll be in your highest good, whatever the outcome may be. And right next to it, we have the Five of Swords coming out with the Six of Swords, which tells me that these cards go together. It'll allow you to move on from some sort of situation that feels like, you know, it's a lose-lose situation, like there's no winner here. And that's basically kind of the energy. It's another way of putting the energy that I'm feeling, is like no one's winning because no one's speaking up. So everybody's losing in this situation because no one's taking initiative to speak up, right? I think you will quickly move on from this tension, from this tense situation, if you speak up. And once again, I'm getting so many different like potential contexts for this that I don't know what it pertains to, but sorry, I know it's noisy, but this is just easier. Is my deck turned around? Oh no, just the Four of Cups. Well, you can stay. Alright, I'll stop. Give me one more card here for the King of Wands. What is Sagittarius supposed to be doing? Nine of Jars. One more, please. No? Oh, okay. They're just falling on the floor. There's one card on the floor. Should I take that? Let's see what it is. Oh no, I was wrong. There's two cards. Oh, and the one is like stuck. We have the Queen of Jars. She came out before. Oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot get this card. Alright, I apologize again for the weird reconnection. You're gonna see when I edit this all together. I got the cards off the floor, okay? So we had the Nine of Jars coming out with now the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. just in case this imagery means anything to you. I don't know if I even showed you these other cards or not, but for some reason I feel like I should show you these. And then the Six of Cups. Okay, so clarifying the King of Wands and the Ace of Swords, we have the Nine of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. Right off the bat, I'm getting to communicate what it is that would make you happy, right? The Nine of Cups is about your wish fulfillment, your satisfaction. It's a card about you, what makes you fulfilled, what makes you happy. And that's what I feel, it makes complete sense with the King of Wands, that you would want to communicate that to someone. So communicate your wishes. If this isn't a relationship context, maybe you just need to communicate your goals, your ideal outcome. Okay, Two of Pentacles and the Six of Cups came out together. So this is making me feel like there's some sort of decision about the past that needs to be made, but also potentially making sense out of the past. For some of you, this could be a decision whether or not to have children. The Six of Cups can be a card about children. We do have the Page of Wands here. I'm not really getting that super strongly, but it's coming out when I look at these cards. So yeah, the strongest message though I feel is like making sense of the things that went on in the past, or discussing them. Like that makes complete sense. Like if you communicate from your heart, right? Because the Nine of Cups is a heart-based card. It's a card that's in touch with the energy of abundance, self-satisfaction, right? Like feeling like one is of value and has, something to offer. So offering up from that heart space and communicating will help, I think, smooth out the past. And for some, if this is cheating for some of you, then you're going to probably have to make a decision, obviously, about what to do about the past. And that's up to you. I would never excuse cheating, but that's up to you. So that's what I feel like we're talking about here. I feel like battle and survival is probably a little dramatic, but it is sort of what needs to be done here. Like you need to go to battle, right, with the sword of truth and communication. And with the Nine of Cups and the King of Wands, this is very passionate, heart-based, real, raw, honest, right? And that's how you get to move on from whatever this tensious situation is. Page of Wands could indicate some sort of immaturity, selfishness with the Five of Swords for sure. But I feel like that's all going to get settled out. Like this Two of Pentacles is very much feeling like a calm energy to me. It's like snowy in the boat. It looks really serene. So I feel like it's a very balanced, like something's balancing out, something's getting smoothed out, right? Okay. It seems rather simplistic, but I feel like that's the message here. You're going to have to just put a little effort, a little oomph, a little fire, which you have, into fighting through something. Okay, to get to the other side, Six of Swords. Alright, I feel like I might be missing something, but I also don't at the same time. So, one card to close this reading out for Sagittarius, please. One card, please. Anything we have not talked about that Sagittarius might need to hear. Oh, man. See, it's like this hesitant, like almost tiptoe sort of energy. Oh boy, 29. What's this card? 44. Yeah, this is sort of the energy that I'm feeling. It's just, you know, this a human trying to blend in with a bunch of swan, right? It's sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, you can't hide it. You know it's there. You see it. Like, it's not fooling anyone. Right? Alright, let's look at 29, though. I mean, I think this card is about temptation. Which kind of goes back to that cheating. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like in a relationship or a sexual context. I'm getting heavy, like, competitive energy here. I mean, if that's the case, just back up 1 second. If that is the case, if this is about some team sport or some team effort, then what it's saying here is for you to kind of rally the troops, rally, you know, whatever, pep talk. You need to speak from your heart. You need to talk about how passionate you are, and that will be contagious to other people, right? It'll inspire other people. Page of Wands is a card of inspiration. I feel like that's the result. You, being the king, are being asked to go into a leadership role where you take the lead. Okay, 29, yeah. Temptation, resisting willpower. There's a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. Mark Twain. What is it about that ingredient called forbidden that whets the appetite? From the innocent indulgence of one more piece of chocolate to more significant forbidden fruits of social behavior, we are often tempted. We indulge even at a risk to our health, our relationships with others, and our general well-being. Like I said, in my pre-shuffle, there were a lot of pentacle cards, okay? So some of you, once again, it could be about your health, it could be about what you're doing, and maybe that is attached to some kind of physical activity or sport, right? Maybe performance enhancement drugs, I don't know. Something like this, right? Like something you know that is not in your best interest that you're doing, that's not helping you, it's not furthering your health. That could be that. Or you're just not addressing your health, like something, you know, is wrong. Okay. Our ability to see through the illusion, to weigh the consequences and resist the temptation is a measure of our personal willpower, character, and strength. To succumb or to resist will be a choice that defines us. A horned jester pulls apart the curtains, revealing an apple and a serpent. See? Symbols from temptation and original sin. A Salome styled performance manifests as a vision from a flaming cauldron. As we come to understand our weakness and the reasons for them, they lose their power to control us. The devil becomes simply a man in a silly hat. Yeah, it's kind of exactly what is being said here. Whatever needs to be spoken, whatever needs to be addressed, whatever needs to be said, whether that's between you and yourself, or you and another person, or you and a group of people. I'm feeling all of that. Once you address it, then you disarm its power, right? You take away the power that it had when it was a secret. It's the same thing with anything, really. That's like a universal rule. you say it out loud, you dissolve the power that it has. Okay, Sagittarius, I hope that made sense. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.